Vivek Ramaswamy, we've watched him for the past year. He's transformed into like in 6 months, just fearless, shit-talking outsider. He's definitely taken a page out of Trump's book. Do you think, where do you think he stands? Like, where is he? Because, I mean, his numbers are coming up, but where does he stand in the Republican Party, and what do you think about his future?
I have enormous respect for his talents. He's very talented. He's very articulate. He's articulating the Trumpian worldview. He's fearless. He's very quick on his feet. I thought he dominated the last debate. Shame that nobody was watching. But I don't think he's likely to be the nominee. His poll numbers are not impressive. I think his 15 minutes kind of came and went. But I think he's a very important force in the party. And I think he's got a great future. I mean, look, a lot of people look at his background and look at what he's saying now, and they question whether he is really who he says he is. But he's going to have ample time to prove that. He's certainly talking the talk.
He is the undisputed populist voice within the party, saying what no one else is saying and what everybody else should be saying in terms of going after the media, in terms of going after the hypocrisy within the party. I was watching the debate. I was there. The third debate was the best debate thus far. Is he jockeying for a VP position, or is he just there to put out what Trump would be putting out had Trump been on stage?
I think he's jockeying for some future standing in the party. I don't think he specifically says, I'd like to be Secretary of Commerce or Secretary of the Treasury. But I think his selection as vice president is unlikely. How tall is Trump?
6'4".
How tall is Vivek?
5'11".
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Not a great visual.
Who do you think would be a good, strong candidate for Trump to pick as vice president? Somebody like, would it be Carrie Lake? Would it be,
you know, it's very difficult to say. You tell me who the two Democrats will be, and I'll tell you who the two Republicans ought to be. I mean, you know, Donald Trump ought to be the presidential nominee, but until we have a little clarity on the Democratic side, I mean, I know Biden says he's running, but he doesn't do any rallies. He doesn't do any events. He does a video for his announcement.
In fairness, he didn't do any of that in 2020.
But that's because he could use the pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic in the basement
as an excuse. So, I mean, I think if I were Trump, and I haven't talked to him about this to be clear, but I think he probably is thinking outside the box. In other words, why do we assume that this is going to be an elected politician? Right. It's not necessarily. Before Trump, every president had been a senator, a governor, a congressman, or a general. The only time the Republicans nominated a businessman in 1940, Wendell Willkie. He ran the best race against Roosevelt's four opponents. But until Trump was elected, we'd never elected a businessman. So I'm not sure why we should assume that the nominee is going to necessarily be a politician or somebody whose background or someone who's currently in public office. So you know, there's a lot of interesting ideas. Tulsi Gabbard would be an interesting idea. That's not his idea. I'm saying that. That's just a thought.